So today let's go ahead and talk about replacing the mini spool in your vehicle. Now it's very simple to do. I have to do this video like that because this mini spool was chaotic. We ordered kind of one that was too big and we had to grind it, make it fit and stuff. But I'm going to explain to you the process anyway. You want to jack your vehicle up. You can see the jacks right here in the video. It's very simple. I don't know why I move my hands so much. It makes my camera go crazy. Focus. Once you get your vehicle jacked up, scotched, everything's safe, you want to take your bolts out of the rear end cover. You can see we got our bolts out. Then take a screwdriver or something and carefully knock it loose. If you're not careful, you can take and damage that. The cover. You don't want that. Might not seal. Now let's back up. And you just seen we take the wheels off and the hubs. That's so you can push the axles in. Now I take my foot and push it in. What's that doing? That's letting us get to the C-clips that hold the axle. And Shane just pulled one out. And once you get the C-clip out, you can pull your axle out some, or you can pull it out all the way. And if you pull it out all the way, it's always best to replace your axle seal. We didn't replace the axle seals in this. The spider gears was getting ready to explode in this rear end, and it was making a lot of noise. That's how come we're doing this. Now, it's Shane's vehicle. He also bought the mini spool kit off eBay for like $74. It didn't fit right. It actually was bad quality. I mean, it looked good. You can see in this video. Let me pause this. Now, back to the spider gears. They's making noise in the rear end. We took the inspection plate off the other day. That's how come you see the new gasket. And we looked in on, we spun the wheels while the car was jacked up safely, and it was in neutral. We spun the wheels, and you could watch one of the spider gears pop, just pop. It's like it's got wore down, or it's just something happened to the gears. It's bent or something. Somehow something's the matter with the rotation on that. Now a bent axle would cause sometimes a spider to do that, but we checked the axles and they not bent. So it was definitely a spider, which is in little gears you see where I'm holding my little L. So let's hit play and continue on. Now if you just give me a second. You see this washer. There's a washer on that spider gear. That's a shim. That's your two sides. Don't get them mixed up, because if you ever have to put your spiders back in for some reason, you never know. They're specific to each side sometimes. You can use a mic and see. It's just, something to be cautious about if you plan to keep your spiders, in case you don't like the mini spool. Now, always check to make sure your locker fits the spine of your axle. That's what we was doing here. You can see it goes in and fits perfect. Now that's that eBay quality. You see this little lip right here? Just right here. We had to actually flatten that till that bevel was gone to make this mini spool work in this. Just that section. Now there's another part we had to machine a little. So basically a belt sander. We took that off both sides. It was trouble. It's one of the worst mini spools I have ever installed in my life, and I installed quite a few. It usually takes maybe 30 minutes to an hour if you take your time, goof off, just enjoying yourself. This took 9 hours to do, guys. 9 hours, just because test fitting and other stuff going on. Shouldn't have been that way. And if you look, you can see the groove for the C-clip. Now, sometimes you have to, basically grind away your C-clip just a little. If you can push your axles in far enough, you can get the C-clip on and then pull them back. You can see our C-clips here and our spiders and stuff. So I'm going to show you in this video how we grind it does, because it's easier to disassemble and stuff if you grind it. It's not going to go flying apart on you, so don't worry about that. Just don't overheat your C-clip. I'm looking at you. Don't overheat it. And you can see the shim will fit this on this right here mini spool. Don't do that. It's not needed. That's basically what I was explaining in the video. The video is just so chaotic. I'm doing it this way instead. Don't put them on. It's just too tight of clearances, and with the mini spool locks, everything in place, they not needed. They spin, you know, none. They spin with the carrier, basically. I say basically a lot in this video. So let's fast forward. The C-clip, this is what we're going to be cutting down. Let's skip ahead. You can see right here, it don't fit. It does not. But if you can push your axle forward enough to get them in like this, push them in, they will drop in place. I don't recommend that because it can be a pain to disassemble. Just go ahead and grind them down just a tad. And basically you just grind the edges, and you can see they fit right in here, and then you can slide right on. Then you pull your axles back. It's very simple to do. Now, to assemble everything, so I'm going to explain to you because I ain't got an ending to it, so bear with me. To assemble this, you see how everything went together. You got your two main blocks that we've split on the axle. Well, you need to put the side right here with the pinion in first. If you put the other side in, it's going to be a bad day because these gears going to knock you off. If you got the right kit, it should fit in no problem. But always put the pinion side, the wing gear, right here, in first. The second side, no shims. Don't use your shims. Put it in. Once you get both sides lined up and splined into your axles, put your C-clips back on your axles. Make sure they're seated and pull your axles back. You can push them back from underneath the vehicle or get a flange while you hold the C-clip. It should fit in that little round groove. Let's go back. I'll show you that groove again. Let's see. It should drop right in place and be seated smooth right here. Now, what you don't see in the video is a two little square things. You will see them in your kit. They for the mini spool, and they go in place right here. Well, I want to point since I got such a big screen, but right here where my, you know, mouse cursor is. Right here where they go right here, and they big square things, and they got kind of a curved top to them. Your pin goes down in that. Well, when you put these into your rear end, they go on your axles. You want them, let's see, where's the axle at? There we go. And you want this axle to be seated in that. I know, let's see, what would that be? I can't, no. It's difficult to stop it where we need it. The C-clip sitting down here. Okay, basically it's flush. Your little square block will go in here and it's concaved. You'll feed your pin back through. Now your pin is held on with a little bolt. I just said that at the beginning of it, but if you're doing this, oh my God, hopefully you reading your instructions and doing more research than just this one video. Even though you might find this video helpful, because I do mention the shims. Most people leave out that. A lot of people try to install these with the shims. They don't use the shims. So hopefully if you get any information you needed, that was the main information. But your squares go together and they fit, and they basically, your pin keeps the axle mashed in where your C-clip sets here. Now those little pieces will cover some of the C-clips and mash up against your axle. You know, they don't fit perfect, but they, you know, mash up against your axle. So sometimes what you have to do is shave the flat part off that goes against your axle to get them to rotate in place, and take a little bit off at a time. Sometimes they fit perfect. This one didn't fit perfect. This one had to have an eighth shaved off of each one. That's how bad off it was. But once you get them, they fit kind of tight in on, then your pin goes through them, and what they do, they lock both axles, little squares do, in place. And your pin goes through it, and you put your bolt back in it. Then you assemble everything. This is a GM 10 bolt. Holds 2.7 quarts of fluid if you need that information. We put 3 quarts in it till it runs out of the fill hole usually. Replace your seals if you're doing this. We did not. And if you're doing this, it's suggested off-road use only. Of course, you can tell this is an off-road vehicle only. And they are a pain to drive. Be careful, because, you know, if it rains, you got 2 wheels pulling at the same time. gets a little sketchy. Also, if you hit gravel on one wheel, the other wheel's going to break free. So if you see gravel in the highway, I mean off-road, on one side, you need to throw down, because if that wheel hits gravel, the other wheel that's on pavement, I mean dirt, because you off-road use only, you know, it's going to break loose and you're going to go. Now, another word of advice for people who looking into the mini spools is, when you do this, do know when you driving normal, your steering's gonna feel a little odd when you turn it and stuff, because you got both wheels going straight all the time. And if you try to turn deep, your wheel is gonna scoot. So just bear in mind, they're a little difficult to use on the highway. I personally don't like them, but instead of replacing ring, pinion, and gear in this vehicle, it was cheaper to, you know, you probably could replace the spider, but we weren't sure if it's war in the carrier or something like that. You could went pause the unit, $500, $600. I'm not sure if a GM, you know, gov lock would have worked out of the newer truck, you know, but it was cheaper to just throw a locker in it. You know, you might would have think you could welded that, but welds break. The locker's safer. And if you ever want to go back to the spiders or replace the spider, if yours was bad like this one was, then you can. It's very simple. Just pull the C-clips, pull your axles, take the mini spool out, throw it back together. But do bear in mind, mini spools sometimes do need massaging. They do need material took off of them. Professional use is recommended. And I gotta go. I got a few things going on right now, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Appreciate it if you do.